All right. Hey, Ben Benoit, can you hear us? How about now? That's still, these are really, they're turned up really loud. Ben Benoit, can you hear us? Is there a reason those on Zoom can't? You want to text Ben and see if he can hear us? Benoit is online.
I can hear you now, Commissioner. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can. Thank you. Okay. All right, you ready, Helene? Okay. We will call this meeting of the Board of Commissioners for Utah County to order on August 2nd, 2023. We typically start these meetings with a prayer, reading, or thought, followed by the Pledge of Allegiance. And we usually ask someone from the audience to give that prayer, reading, or thought and lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance. Do we have any volunteers? Anyone willing to give a prayer or a thought or a reading, if you had one prepared? Anybody? Bert, that'd be great. And then after that, do we have someone who will lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance? All right, Laura, thank you. All right, Bert, you want to come?
Our dear Heavenly Father, we thank Thee for this opportunity to gather as citizens and leaders of the county, and we ask please bless our conversation to be productive, that we can understand one another, that we can take the affairs of the county into consideration and make good decisions and have the wisdom we need. And we thank Thee for this great country we live in. We thank Thee for the freedoms we have. We thank Thee for the people in the armed services and first responders. We ask please bless them, that they can be blessed with safety as they serve and protect our county and our country. And we say these things in the name of Jesus Christ. Amen.
Thank you, Bert.
Please stand and pledge after me. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, we're going to start our meeting with a couple of pieces of recognition. So the first will be the Employee of the Month. And this month, the Employee of the Month is from the Health Department, and it is Brian Anthony. So we typically read the entire nomination form, but apparently everybody loves Brian Anthony. So we have 4 pages. So I'm not going to read all 4 pages. I'm going to summarize it because Brian is apparently fantastically great. I think the most common theme is that he's incredibly happy, incredibly cheerful, always brings that happy attitude that radiates for others, but that also is incredibly helpful. I'll just read a couple of things that stuck out at me. One is he is someone we don't want to do without. When asked for info or something, he has the answer or he will get it. If you need something, ask him, and boom, it's on your desk. Apparently, he took a little bit of time off to care for his mother, and while everyone absolutely appreciated his dedication to family, it helped everyone realize how incredibly valuable he is. While he was gone, he was missed sorely. But he's got just a reoccurring theme is the infectious smile, the fantastic attitude, and always being willing to help others. I think, Brian, we are very happy to award you with Employee of the Month this month because it's people like you that not only serve our citizens with exemplary examples and service, but also that make it so that everybody else likes to work in Utah County. And I think that's a key to a good workplace is being happy in your workplace, and you absolutely bring that. So with that, if you'll come forward, and if you want, you can say a few words to us, and then we'll get a picture with you, and we've got a certificate and a few things for you. So if you want to come up to the podium and maybe, yeah. A little bit about what you think about working here at Utah County.
I love working here. I love all the nurses and everybody I work with. They're great people to work with. Judith is an amazing boss, and so I just love working here. So
Fantastic. We're lucky to have you. So we'll come get a picture with you. You want to stay right there? And then in here, All right, and for the next piece of recognition, we will turn the time over to Commissioner Sakovic.
Very recently, what was it, 2 weeks or 3 weeks, we had a Miss Utah County pageant. And we had, was it 9 women, I think, competing? Wide range of talents, interests, backgrounds, and remarkable displays of interest that they shared with the members that attended this event at one of the auditoriums at UVU. And so it was a remarkable night, very rewarding night. And Riley Pollen from Pleasant Grove was elected to be Miss Utah County this year. This is remarkable. Now, Riley gets to travel throughout the county, perhaps even the state, in some functions for the next 300, whatever many days you got left, 360 days maybe left. But Riley had competed for this through the Miss America organization as a profit. Excuse me, let me get this sound back a little bit here. Maybe I should just turn off and talk about it. Well, let's see how it goes. With that, Riley has been working with the community for some time in Pleasant Grove, and several have said how wonderful she is. She has developed a program called the Happy Brain Project. And this is a program where youth and adults are able to participate in some curriculum to help them realize that regardless of the circumstances one is in, including microphones that won't cooperate, you can have a rich, wonderful life. And that was her theme that drove everyone there to nominate her. And she had, I think, if I remember correctly, another 8 or so judges who did the evaluation. I was watching their faces as each contestant went up and looking at each set of eyes as they scanned the performances or the speeches each person gave. And it was very, very telling how they were watching for character developments in each person. And through all that, I think it was 2 hours later, Riley was selected. So with that, Riley, before we ask you to come up for a picture, would you just talk about your history a little bit, why you got into it, and a little bit about the Happy Brain program that you put together?
Should I come
Up here, please, yes. Knowing that the microphone may be belligerent.
Okay, maybe if I stay here, I won't make it screech.
Yes.
Okay, perfect. Well, thank you for having me. Thank you for your kind words. I appreciate it. But yeah, so with Happy Brain, my nonprofit organization, I want to break the stigma with mental health. But I also wanted to take a step further and promote mental health action. And that's why I created the Happy Brain curriculum for students K through 12, where they can learn to have a happier headspace through healthy coping skills and positive action. And I've worked with the Pleasant Grove Cares organization as well as other mental health professionals to create it so students can have free, accessible education on how to take care of their mental health, because it's so needed, not only in our community, but our state as well.
It is, thank you. I think we're all familiar with the mental health issues that surround us, and it's not unique to Utah County, but it's global. But I appreciate all of that remarkable work you're doing, and you have a lot of work ahead of you. And so it'd be good to see you share your thoughts, your feelings, your aspirations, and your hopes for other kids, K through 12, particularly as you get to travel over the next year. So wonderful! I'm very happy for you. We
Thank
are
you
very
so
happy
much.
for you.
No, I'm excited to work with you guys. This
Thank
is going
you.
to be an amazing year.
Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. I think the issue that you have tackled, I recently attended a National Association of Counties conference where county level officials get together from all over the country to discuss the issues that are facing our counties and work on collaborative ways to help solve those issues. And the number one issue that we talked about this time was mental health, and particularly the mental health of youth and the crisis that we are in the middle of with the significant increase in depression and anxiety for people mostly in their teens and 20s. And so this is very timely, fantastic that you've tackled this, and definitely something that everybody could use.
Thank you so much. That means a lot. I appreciate it.
Thank you for her service. Can we do a picture with her?
Yeah,
for a
absolutely.
Quick, thank you.
The flowers.
I can come up there,
No,
or
we'll
I can
come
go down here. Okay.
One, two, three.
Okay. We will now proceed to build our agenda. We'll go through and build that. I think items 1 through 10. I think we discussed item 9, right?
Yes.
Okay, holding item 9.
I have none others in between those.
And then items 11 through 23.
And I have none of those. I've gone through them all. I don't have any questions on them.
Same. So, and for closed session, we need 24. And just item 9 is the only one. Item 9, and then item 9 is the one we're holding. And then closed session, I believe we only need 24. Richard, do you need anything? Okay, item number 24, we can strike 25, 26, and 27 then.
Okay.
And the rest move to the consent agenda. Okay, Holly, you want to repeat that short list back to us?
Okay, sorry, I was
You're fine.
concerned about microphones. we are holding number 9. And as far as closed meetings, we are striking 25, 26, and 27.
Correct.
Okay?
That's great. Thank you. Okay, jump into item number 24. Or sorry, not 24, 9. Item number 9. Jump into item number 9. Man, the print on this makes me feel old.
I wanted to ask some, additional details about the denied items.
Yeah.
Not all of them, but I just want to get your feelings for them and get a perspective. So, because sometimes what's written out is not always, and I apologize, we didn't get to go together sooner, but I've been gone quite a bit the last few days, and I would like to know more detail. Did you want to start or?
Yeah, I was going to ask on just the first one, the Haas property. Do we know, did they apply for any abatements?
I checked in September of 2019. They were given a application, but they never submitted it. I spoke with her, with Kay on Friday for quite some time, and I let her know that those applications were available. And I mean, just based off of talking with her, I thought she probably would be a good candidate for it. I just hadn't seen the specifics of her finances. But I did direct her to our website where she could apply for circuit breaker and some of that low income help. So she does have access to that now. To be consistent with other applicants, we recommended denial here. We're sympathetic to her situation, but.
But we do need that yeah, I think that's definitely an avenue.
Right.
Was she able to get on the website? Do you believe from your conversations with the owner?
I mean, when I spoke with her, I told her when I hung up, I was going to send her the link, and the link to this meeting. So I don't know for sure if she got access to it, but I did tell her that was probably the direction that the commission may direct her to go.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, so on that one, I'm okay with going the recommendation. I think if there's for some reason that they don't qualify for a circuit breaker that has an extenuating circumstance, I think I'd be willing to reconsider. But for now, I think they need to go that method.
Yeah, I agree. I'll support that recommendation. With that in mind, would you reach back to her and double check to make sure she didn't have an issue trying to get in using the system?
Okay.
Let's see. Do you have any other specific ones?
The Ivy Hall Academy
And that was on my list too.
requests relief and forgiveness of taxes on a statement that they had a private nonprofit that when they bought the property, they believe they didn't have to pay the taxes. Are they clear on where they are with this now?
I know our office has had some contact with Ivy Hall. They may have a representative here. But, it's my understanding that they qualified for the 501c3, and the assumption was, since I qualified for 501c3, then I think they automatically assumed that they didn't have to apply for as a charitable organization or a educational exemption. Again, we're sympathetic, but they do have to apply.
They know they now know they have to apply and they just haven't. Is that what you're saying?
I mean, they've got 30 days from when they purchase it, and then they've got to apply before March 1st of the year.
Right.
I I mean, they've got time to apply for next year, but as for this year, because they didn't apply, our recommendation was to deny.
You know, we've had other organizations, we had to have them come back a year later to reapply.
Yeah.
And with that, I'm willing to support that recommendation then.
Okay. And then the Holbrook Community Center.
Yeah.
I mean, similar situation
Out there, apply.
that they just didn't apply for the exemption.
All about you, Adam.
Sorry. Do I
Okay.
step back?
No, you're good.
Tom got up and threatened it, so thank you for that, Tom.
So
So
yeah,
again, they knew they now know they have to apply, but just have not applied.
I mean, I couldn't tell you that they know for sure that they have to apply for next year, but it's my understanding that this one had to come before the Board of Equalization. And so I believe they would know.
Yeah. Well, and with those two, if we're going to do one, I mean,
Yeah.
it's almost the same reason,
Yeah,
right?
it
For
is, yeah.
consistency, it's,
So,
they do qualify, but they didn't apply, and legally they need to apply.
yeah, and we've had to have others, including churches, to reapply, so.
Now, with that said, we did abate it for the church
That's true, we did.
when they failed to turn in their application.
One of the other churches in the community.
Yeah.
If you did want to go with recommendation, our office does notify them, and if you want us to put a special note in there about the need to apply for this for 2024, and resources, et cetera, where to go, Adam could direct that to happen.
Okay.
Commissioners, just so you know, Cynthia Simpson from, I believe it's Ivy Hall, is available on Zoom.
Yeah,
Okay,
let's give
great.
her the chance to chat then. Yeah, can we? Absolutely. All right, Cynthia, go ahead.
Hello, sorry, can you hear me?
We can.
Oh, thank you. I couldn't see anything. I've been trying to plug in. I'm in Boston this week. I apologize. Thank you for listening to this. So our issue is we have applied for the current year. I guess we applied late for this current year, not knowing. So we've already been approved on that to receive that waiver of property taxes due to our status as a 501c3 educational institution. Our problem with last year, and I guess I just don't know how to resolve it at this point, was it's true that we bought the building last year. We went through all the processes to make sure that the zoning was okay for it to be a school in that area. When the notice came in, I was away, and I'm the director of the school, and I wasn't. I know this sounds stupid, and I get that it is the law that we should. I did have no idea that I needed to apply for it. I was just told that when we bought the building, it would happen, and it was being purchased by the school as a 501c3. So I didn't realize it, and I was away at school in New York all year. And when the school got received a notice from about taxes being due, and then they thought it was a mistake. And so the person who was in charge of the finances. And she kept asking me, and I said, no, we don't pay it as a 501c3. And so not knowing that it wasn't, again, that there was an application. And so by the time we did, I didn't know if there was a way, at that point we were way past the 30 days because we received that notice, I think, by the time we got it. The only time I heard about it was in December based on a postcard that the school had received. And so I didn't know, at that point, I reached out to find out, is there a way to retroactively apply and figure this out. And they just told me to turn in the application for the waiver. So my suggestion was that because we bought it in May, and that we were given the money to pay the taxes for the first part of the year when it was a business that was nonprofit, it wasn't associated with us, but that those monies came to us in the purchase of the building so that we would then pay for that portion of the year with the money that they had done, and then we were hoping to get the rest of it waived for the rest of the year based on it being the 501c3 for the rest of that year. The school is just truthfully not in a financial position to, we really struggle year to year, have done that. And anyway, I get that there may not be anything that you can do, but we're hopeful that there is a way to look at that and to apply some sort of forgiveness. If there's anything else we need to do in terms of application at this point, I don't know how to take care of it since it's obviously well past the 30 days.
Yeah. When was the application due, Paul? You know, or Adam? You know what's the deadline for the application? It's within,
30 days after she purchased the property. So,
So, yes, when you buy a property, it's 30 days
We
after the
purchased in May
purchase.
1st, so it's 30 days later.
And then for a subsequent year, it's March
1st.
1st.
okay. This is for last year?
2022.
Okay. But we
Yeah.
have it for 23.
I believe so.
Yes, 23's all been approved and
Right.
applied.
Yeah, she's got that. Then I would not mind then waiving that and allowing the request, given what I've now know and based on some of the things we've done in the past for other organizations.
Cynthia, if you'd be able to provide to us, did you make a partial payment on the taxes for 2022?
No, we didn't. We didn't realize we were supposed to. And then when I went back, when all this came to be an issue and I was turning in the application, I looked at our closing documents, and the taxes from the original owners were given to the school to do that. So when I wrote the application or the request, for this to be waived, I put in there that my suggestion would be that we, of course, make right by those first few months. I guess it was all the way through April. We close on like May 1st. So that the school would be available, ready to pay for those taxes at that point. I just assumed they had been done, of course, not knowing any of this, that they had paid them, and because the billing doesn't come until the end of the year, that portion wasn't paid, but the school is aware of that, and we know we would of course need to pay that. That doesn't make any sense because we weren't the building wasn't owned by us at that point, so we would be so happy to pay that and know that we need to no matter what, but hope that the other part can possibly be forgiven.
Yeah, and at the very least, even if we abate part of the year, January through April would still need to absolutely be paid because they didn't own it then.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and that should have been part of the transfer of ownership. So if we recommend that January through April, end of April, since they didn't own it until the 1st of May,
Or at least
Maybe
until the
the-
closing date.
that's true. What was the closing date? She said May 1st is when they took ownership. Is that the same as closing date?
That's correct.
Right here. May 2nd.
It was recorded on May 2nd.
Okay. So May 1st would have been fine.
So 1st of January through midnight,
May.
1st of May.
May 1st. May 1st.
I'm happy with that adjustment.
Okay, I can get behind that as well. So that'll be a modification as an approval.
You can work with that. Is it Mrs. Simpson or Cynthia?
Yes, absolutely. We would be just so grateful for that, because that's more than fair. Thank you.
Okay. So January through May 1st. Okay. Glad we had that conversation. Okay.
And the next on Holbrook, do we have any representatives from Holbrook? Is there anybody online, Helene?
Commissioners, just sorry to go back to Ivy Hall one more time. As far as abating that, we have abating January through May 1st. Will that include penalties and interests or not include penalties and interests?
So they'll pay January through May 1st, right? And then abate May 2nd through the end of the year.
Yeah. Yes.
Just tax only? Or-
Yeah, I would say tax only. They still would pay the penalties and interest.
Right.
Yeah, so my issue with the Holbrook one is I would have questions I would need to ask because their appeal says that it was owned or used by a nonprofit, and I would want to know how was it used and when was it used and was it owned or used? And I know they've got construction and they're doing a capital raise, and was it under construction? Was it actively being used? Without the ability to answer those questions, then I don't feel like I can abate, so I would go with the recommendation.
Follow. Just the points you're bringing us would work, yes.
Okay, I'm ready to move forward with the one modification.
No additional
for the
insights on that.
Ivy Hall.
Yeah, I've nothing additional to contribute to it, just what they provided.
So I would recommend we just continue, support the denial recommendation.
Okay. With that, do you want to make a motion?
I'll make a motion that we adopt agenda item number 9, is it?
Yes.
With the changes recommended for the
Ivy Hall.
Ivy Hall.
Okay, and we will suspend the rules since there is not a third commissioner, and I will second that motion. It's been moved and seconded. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
That passes 2-0. Okay, we are now open for public comment. Okay, seeing none in the room, is there any online, Helene? Okay, seeing none, we will go into our closed session. Oh, did you want to have public comment? Oh, yeah.
I thought mine would be on this list. Do you have anything there for,
Oh, sorry.
do you have anything there for Bonner Gillis and Diane Gillis on that?
Oh, it is on there.
Recommendation letter number 6.
Yeah, the recommendation was to abate it. So that's why we didn't talk about it, because it passed. The recommendation from them was to abate and refund where applicable.
It's been in Greenbelt, of which you people approved the Greenbelt, put me back in, but it was sent to state, and I've got to go up there on the 15th. So I kind of wanted to know what that was going to be. Is the taxes going back?
Adam can maybe answer where we are on that one. So we didn't call it out because the recommendation was to give the abatement and refund.
Let me ask you one thing. If you approve that going back in the Greenbelt, who actually sends that up to state?
The civil division will
No,
work with
the assessor's office.
yeah, and they'll take care of that.
Yeah,
Commissioners, this is Ben Stanley from the County Attorney's Office. This appeal has been advanced by the assessor to the State Tax Commission, and it is scheduled for 2 weeks from yesterday.
okay.
Ben, did you say it was submitted 2 weeks ago?
No, it was submitted and the appeal
No.
hearing at the state is 2 weeks from yesterday.
Got it.
So Tuesday, 2 weeks from now.
Right. Correct.
So the only action that we took regards to your property in this meeting was to approve and refund, is it the full 4251? Adam?
Well, the reason why, it's been in Greenbelt for probably 45 years. And so I didn't even pay any attention to what the value of that property was going. It was, original value of that property was quite small, but it ended up $1,600 last year, or this year. And the reason I didn't pay any attention to it, because it was always in Greenbelt. And that's why this application was filled out.
And this is the,
What did it go back to then?
So if you can see here, this is the 5 years. This is what the assessed value for each of those years.
Mm-hmm.
This would be the amount that we would refund here, this 1438.32.
Okay, but this hasn't been paid. This actually, it's been in Greenbelt.
That's an date. Not me. I don't know. Of course it did this one.
So I guess what I'm really interested in, what's it gonna be next year or whatever?
So,
the assessor can answer that.
yeah,
The man,
Okay.
the gentleman in the darker blue shirt can help
Hey,
us sort that out. But what we did is abate owed taxes today, and we didn't call it up because we agreed with abating that for you.
Okay, I
that make
appreciate
sense?
it. Thank you.
Okay, absolutely.
now closed.
All right, I think we're good then. Going to closed session.
Thank you, everyone.
Yeah, thank you.
Goodbye.
Didn't talk about mine. That's because we gave you your money back.
I saw him there, and I was trying to remember which one he was, and then I
Yeah.
remembered as soon as he started talking. I don't blame him, it's quite a bit of money.